Watching the SA Sports Show, time to turn our attention to one of my favourite athletes. I've got to tell you, little Tommy Mattinson is an absolute star. His mum Rebecca in the studio with us. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us, Phil.
Well, we are glad to have you. Now, we're going to go back to the start a little bit for some of the viewers, mate. Race running for kids with disability. You went to the Gold Coast and trained up there about a month ago in a special setup. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, Phil, this is how it goes. It went so pretty experienced people like me on that race runner. We do technical drills. And for like the beginners, they do training.
That's right.
Okay.
So we went up there for 3 days and it was an amazing experience. It brought together children from all over Australia who are using frames to run. The children have cerebral palsy and it's a new Paralympic sport. And Tommy's one of our superstars.
He is one of the superstars. And they call it the race runner, don't they? Could you describe it, Rebecca? The kind of, it's almost a trike, isn't it?
It is like a trike. So it's a frame with 3 wheels. So it has the same size wheels as a normal racing bike, but then a smaller front wheel. Has no pedals, so it's purely driven by human power, sort of the Flintstone style. And you race down the track as hard as you can.
Yes, you do.
And Tommy, tell us a little bit about the first time you ever tried race running.
Well, I was a bit, is this gonna be alright, or like a bit of...
Well, I wasn't sure. You know, he didn't know how well he'd go. He was a little bit nervous, I think.
Yeah, nervous.
But we went off to a come and try session with Athletics SA, and we popped Tommy on the bike, and he absolutely tore up the track. So it was clearly the sport for him.
Well,
Yes.
we're going to come back to the turbo in a minute. Rebecca, for you, the first time you see Tommy run, what's that moment like for you?
Well, Tom's a pretty special kid, and our journey, I guess, has had highs and lows. And Tom was born very prematurely. He was born at 29 weeks, weighing 1 kilo, and was in hospital for nearly 3 months. And I can equate it to, we went over to St. Louis in America, and he had spinal surgery to take the spasticity away from his legs. And the first time that I was able to see Tom wiggle his toes for the first time independently, I can equate it with the same sort of feeling. So pretty emotional and powerful stuff, because I guess when your child struggles with motor movement, to see them go on a normal athletics track, level the playing field and run with able-bodied counterparts, it is the most amazing feeling. Yeah.
And Tommy, how do you feel when you're running? How does it make you feel?
Well, what it makes me feel, I feel energetic, and then I can feel the wind just blowing behind me as I run with my spasticity free legs.
Yeah, yeah. So it makes you feel really good, doesn't it? It makes you feel very free. You know, there is lots of times when he's the slowest in a group. You know, at school he's often the slowest to get from point A to point B, but on the track and on his race running frame, he's often faster than his able-bodied peers, and so that's amazing. You know,
Let's
that
talk
freedom.
about how good you are, Tommy. So you broke a couple of records again on the weekend, mate. You had the 60-metre race where you got down to 17 seconds, the 200-metre race at 58 seconds. I don't want you to say you could feel the wind going through your hair, because I think you'd be making fun of me.
It was a fast weekend.
Yeah.
You know, he's doing his best 100 metres, but in 200.
Wow.
You know, he's flying, so he's number 2 in the world ranking at the moment, and number 1 in Australia for under 14s. So yeah, we're pretty proud.
You're a bit of a superstar, Tommy. What do your friends at school say?
Well, they do get a bit surprised, and then today one of my friends said, I want to race you. And then I was like, let's do that tomorrow.
So Tom has a race runner at school as well as one for the track, and so when he's at school, anytime he's going to hop on and do PE or things like that, he hops on his race runner to run around, so that it's much easier for him to keep up with everyone.
Well, you must have a lot of medals by now. What do you do with all your medals? Tommy, where are you hanging them all?
Well, there's this medal hanger which it says dream, believe, achieve, and then I got a bunch of medals just hanging over the side.
I don't think if he put them all around his neck, he could hold his neck up.
Right.
Yeah, I think we've got a lot, haven't we?
We've got a lot, and only about like 2 could hold my neck.
Yeah, that's right.
Or 3.
That's right. You might be able to wear 2 or 3, so yeah.
And I know you got 2 brothers. Are they pretty competitive? Who has more medals out of the 3 of you?
Well, I think it's me to hold it. And my brother's actually doing really well. And I think next year for the Paralympics race running, I'm going to be going to Russia, and in the adults version of what we do, they're going to Japan. Lucky them.
So what's the goal, Tommy? Are we going to... Paris is probably a little bit too close for the Olympic Games, but, you know, Gold Coast's not that far away after that. Which Olympics do you think we'll see Tommy Turbo at?
Well, potentially he could go to Paris, but we have to really bring down the times because he'll be competing against adults.
Yeah.
I mean, last year at the this year at Nationals for the 2021 season, where Tom gained a gold medal, he was running in under 17s. So, you know, anything is possible, we say. We never limit anything that Tom can do. We always say, you know, just do your best and run hard, and that's exactly what he does. So maybe Paris. If not, then we'll be heading up to Brisbane, won't we?
Yes.
We will.
And what's the Paralympic world record at the moment? How far are you off of it, Tommy? Do you know?
For men, it's at 16 seconds for 100 metres.
Okay.
So we've got a bit of work to do.
Fair way to go, but
we have.
The way you're improving, you'll be there in next week.
Well, our goal this season was to get under 30,
time.
Wasn't it, Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he did that in his first weekend out at the track for this season. So
that one is ticked off on the list. What's the next one?
Well, what is the next one?
Well, you tell us.
bringing it down under 25.
Under 25.
So that's
hey, Tommy, when you line up next to the guys that are older than you, the under 17 guys, because you could race under 14, do you ever say anything to them? Do they ever say anything to you?
No.
No, they're smart enough not to.
We just take a run, and it's not about them passing you. You're the kid, and you, even though you get there last, when the adults pass you, you're still in first for your age group.
That's right. So we just say you're running your own group. They're pretty supportive, but you know, I think they're keeping a keen eye on what he's doing on the track. Yeah, we just run hard.
Hey, I can see the happiness and I can hear it in your voice how exciting it is for you. Is it all of that?
It
Every
is
week?
all of that and some. There is no way I'm going to miss a meet at the track, and I'm one of those crazy parents that runs around as he's running. I'm running on the outside of the track, running around to meet him at the end if he's doing a 200 or the 100. I'm also the mum that videos everything, and then we sit and watch it together and unpack it and look at it and see where we can make improvements.
So Tommy's getting you into good shape as well.
Oh, he is, absolutely, absolutely.
And also, Mum, as the video person, Mum actually times me, and then if I do a fast run, she might get surprised at how fast I went for getting the new record.
That's right. It's very exciting, you know, to watch because, you know, again, you know, it's great when he gets a PB. He doesn't always get a PB. Just the last couple of weeks he has.
No, well, since I've known you, that's all you've done.
That's all we've done. Every single weekend we've managed to do PBs, haven't we? So you've been pretty darn good. That's right. So, but it is, you know, we just celebrate every time he gets onto the track, and I love the fact that he can stand up and go independently on his on the race runner. When we arrive at the track, I get him onto his frame, and he goes from the car park, independent of me, out onto the track, and he's usually chatting to a number of people by the time I've actually got myself organised. So he's fantastic.
Yeah,
it's made a huge difference.
To his freedoms.
Yeah.
Is it the same at school with the race runner at school?
Yeah, it is really good, isn't it? They're getting to know how to use it. I think for teachers, it's about how do we include it. But they're doing an awesome job, and it meant that he could go to SASS this year for the first time, and it meant he could compete in all schools competition as well. So they're two competitions that have never had frame running, and we kind of petitioned for them to happen. There's no reason why Tom can't run in a frame and other kids can't too. So at the moment we're recruiting. We're trying to find more kids with cerebral palsy. It does not matter how severe the cerebral palsy is, we can get them on a frame and we can get them running up a track. Fantastic. So it's pretty awesome, isn't it?
Well, also to add to that, you can only race on a race runner if you have like a disability, otherwise you can't be classified to go on one and run a race. And some of them can run independently. When they use a race runner, they can also use their legs independently.
Yeah, so what Tom's trying to say is that if you can run independently and you have cerebral palsy, you might use one for training, but you can't be classified to run in an official race. It's pretty strict, the rules around it. So it levels the playing field, I guess. If you can run independently, let them run independently. So it's tricky, isn't it?
Hey Tommy, do you have a favourite distance? Do you like the 60 metre, the 100 metre, the 200 metre, the 400 metre?
I definitely like the 100 metre.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Well, that's the best one because that's the one that will be included into the Paralympics. So at this stage, none of the other distances will be included. Potentially a 200 will be included, but at this stage it will just be 100 metres.
And this is the first time in the Olympics in Paris 2024 you'll see us running on the frames.
That's right.
And it's the first Paralympic sport that I can get a plan onto.
That's right. Yep.
And if you happen to maybe just miss qualifying, do you reckon you might try to head over there and watch it live, or you'll just watch it on television?
We can go to the...
He quite fancies going to Paris, I hope, and I do too. So we probably would go and watch it, to be honest.
That'd be amazing.
So, and it would be brilliant to meet. See, Tom chats to people all around the world who are frame runners, adults and younger kids, and they've got a really supportive community. So they're watching what he's doing, we're watching what they're doing, and so it would be fantastic if we don't, if Tom doesn't make it, then we could actually go and meet those people and sort of come together. So,
hey Tommy, you know when your mum videos it and you sit and watch it, and then your mum used the term unpack it. How do you like watching yourself afterwards on the video?
Well, I think it's quite astonishing what you see on like a screen, and also sometimes you can upgrade your screen to like ultra high definition.
So we put it up on the TV and watch it and do it in slow motion, don't we?
Yeah.
Yep, and we can look at starts, we can look if he's run really well through the finish line, so
How do you find the starts, Tommy? Are you good at the start, or are you good once you get going?
I kind of struggle at the start, but I'll eventually get myself going.
That's right.
But if even though people are in front of you, you can still
Chase them down.
chase them down and
That's
get past them, and then you can finish strong at the finish.
That's right.
So do you think your finish is your strongest strength?
Yeah.
And the middle section, he's very strong, very fast. Yeah.
That
So
might
you've
have
just
been
got to
my
work
problem.
on that start.
Yeah, just working on the start. So Tom's
start.
just learning how to use
Blocks.
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 Yeah.
Ah.
So he wears spikes at the stadium, don't you? So he wears his spikes and he's learning blocks, and that's the goal, to come off blocks.
Which this is a massive advantage to running on the track.
That's right.
What I mean by advantage running on the track is that the spikes dig in and then you get lots of grip as you're running along the track.
Well, Tommy, we can't wait to hear about you breaking another record. We'll get you in to tell us about it, but that means you'll be back next week because you keep breaking records every week. So we might have to give you a couple of weeks off, then come back and tell us how well you're going. So, hey, we really appreciate you coming in, Tommy and Rebecca. Thanks very
you.
much, and it's wonderful that you're on this journey, mate. Hopefully Paris, you'll get there no matter what, but...
Or hopefully
Brisbane.
Brisbane.
Yeah.
Brisbane,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
we'll be happy with that.
Very happy.
Either one.
Either one will do.
You'll be there, Tommy. I just know it.
All right, Tommy and Rebecca Mattinson, our special guests. Stay with us, a bit more to come.